Hi, I'm Shlomi Cohen. I'm working at the JDC for the last 2 years, and I will tell you a little bit about myself, who I am, and what do I do at the JDC. So, I grew up in Kiryat Malachi, it's a development town in the south. My parents came from Egypt during the 50s, and as a child growing up in development town, I didn't have a lot of opportunities. So it's decided to take myself seriously and my life seriously, and I travel by bus every day for an hour and a half to Rehovot. It's like 25-30 minutes drive by car, but with the buses. The buses during the 90s were in the 80s were very bad. I traveled an hour and a half each direction to get a better education. This experience actually shaped my life, because I told myself that after I'll finish the army and go to university, I will devote my life and my experience and my devotion to children at risk and unprivileged communities. But I saw my friends in much worse place than I was, and I told myself that I have to bring more than me into those communities. So after I graduated from the army, I went to university, and I was a member of a flagship program in the Hebrew University that took students from development town and unprivileged communities around the country and gave them the tool to be the next leader in the Israeli society. From there, I started working in the Youth Protection Authority in the Ministry of Labor Affairs, and ran a halfway house for a few years, 5 years, for girls that are at most risk in Israel. And now at the JDC, I work with two major programs. One with the Caucasian community that considered the most vulnerable community in Israel, and the other part is that I'm responsible for all the programs for girls. Actually, girls is very important for me, because if you look at any community, not only in Israel, the girls are the most vulnerable population in Israel. And what you can see now in the last 5-6 years is that their situation become even worse and worse every time. We see girls that are working with prostitution, selling drugs, and acting violently in order to survive. We see older girls that are become violent themselves to the other girls, and I feel there is a need for a mass intervention in this area. And also with the Caucasian community, as I said before, it is the most vulnerable community in Israel. In the last 5 years, we have 5 murders of teenagers, and only in Beersheba. That will give you some kind of sense how vulnerable this community is. There is a lot of great program manager in JDC, and I have the privilege working in this organization, but every project manager brings its own flavor and its own belief to the programs that they do. My philosophy is to bring the community and the family in the small circle and the large circle to the kids, and help the community itself keep the kids safe in their environment. We do it with the girls when we go to the communities, if they're Ethiopian, Caucasian, whatever, and we help them determine their own goals, their own needs, and the tools that they need in order to keep their environment safe. We do the same with the Caucasian. We go to the Caucasian, and we give them the tool to be the leaders of the programs. We don't bring a lot of professionals from outside. We help the Caucasian professional. And this is some kind of a sense to the way I work from my experience as a child growing up in Kiryat Malachi.